Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Affordable apartments and golf memberships at 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling? Trust Lindsay and Associates. Serving the community for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
Want to run faster, jump higher, move with more power? The Sports Recovery and Development Program at Bridges Therapy Group builds speed, strength, agility, and endurance while correcting movement issues that can cause injury. Give your athlete the edge. Schedule an assessment today at srdathlete.com. Rogers quarterback Jeff Regan joins the show, as does Northside's new head coach Dom Mirocke. It is Thursday, September 11th, and this is Varsity Vibe Today. Welcome into Varsity Vibe Today. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange. Thank you for being with us on this Thursday as we get closer to another week of high school football on the gridiron. And let's get to it. Our Lewis Automotive opening drive. Looking to upgrade your vehicle? It's the trade-in, trade-out event at Lewis Automotive. Get double the factory warranty, all backed by the Lewis Guarantee, happening now in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington. It's been a great start to 2025 for the Rogers Mounties, 2-0 with wins over North Little Rock and Muskogee. And for senior quarterback Jeff Regan, it's another opportunity to prove why he is one of the best players in the state. A season ago, as a junior, put up over 1,000 rushing yards, 2,000 passing yards. That has not been done in the 7A. He truly is one of the best players in the state, and he's showing that early here in 2025. I was able to catch up with Regan ahead of the Mounties game on Friday against Sheridan. 2-0, had a really good win over Muskogee on the road. Just how do you feel like this team has kind of come right out of the gates and set the tone for the season?
First game started a little slow, but I definitely think we fixed that in the second game. I'm just really proud of the dudes. The way they got up from last game. I mean, it's really encouraging to see, especially this early in the season, this fired up. So just ready for the rest of the season.
What stuck out with you the most with that Muskogee game, on the way that you guys were able to, I think 3 minutes in, you're already up 14-0, and to be able to continue that momentum?
I think just the energy. Everyone brought. It was all just love on the sideline, and it was just great to see.
I talked to Coach before the season started and asked him, really, how does this program kind of get over the hump, get past the into 2 weeks of the playoffs and lose? What do you think it is about this team that can make that run to the state title this year?
I think it's just the type of people we have on the team. We were young last year, and so a little inexperience there. But I think this year, with more experience, more confidence, and just great energy, I definitely think that'll help us go further in the year.
What do you think is the team's strength this year?
I think just the character of them. I think we have a ton of talent, a ton of good dudes, but I think more than anything, they work hard, and they're just good people overall.
All right, I want to talk about you. Entering this senior year, after what you were able to accomplish your junior year, from the stats on the paper to the win column, what was the biggest thing you wanted to focus on your last year of high school football?
I think the leadership aspect. I think just being able to guide the younger generation, just the younger guys. I think definitely leaving an impact on them is definitely something I want to do this year. And yeah.
When you entered into your junior year and you really took over that quarterback role compared to what you were as more of a Swiss Army knife of sorts as a sophomore, where did you have to change your mentality the most between being a all-around guy who can do a little bit of everything to really now being a quarterback that's leading this football team?
Definitely a lot of patience, a lot more mental than I'm used to. 10th grade year is a lot more physical. I didn't have to speak much. I just went and did everything. But this, the last year and this year, is a lot more mental, a lot more vocal, and just being able to lead. I think that's the biggest change.
He also told me that his faith, the big reason why he is the football player that he is. You can hear more from him and our conversation on Friday's Varsity Vibe Stories episode. And coming up after the break, Fort Smith Northside hired Dom Mirocke in February to lead their football program after 15 years coaching at the collegiate level. We're going to talk with Coach about the start to the Grizzly season and what his team is learning through their early adversity.
If If you're an athlete that wants to improve your game, maybe improve your 40, jump higher, have better agility, Bridges Therapy Group's Sport Recovery and Development Program can help. They've been helping student athletes reach their highest potential for quite a while now. They've got a team that includes physical therapists, athletic trainers, personal trainers, and occupational therapists. And together, they design individual plans to build speed, explosive power, agility, strength, and endurance. Whether your athlete's returning from rehab or working for a competitive edge, SRD provides the training and guidance to help them succeed. Schedule your athlete's assessment today at srdathlete.com.
Quick Turf is the go-to team for building championship-level sports facilities for public schools, private schools, and the entire school district. They also install beautiful backyard putting greens for homeowners. Known for lifelike, eco-friendly turf, Quick Turf handles everything from design and lighting to drainage and final landscaping. Their all-in-one approach delivers high-performance surfaces for athletes and low-maintenance greens that last for years. With preventative maintenance programs, they keep every field and green looking game day ready. Schedule a free consultation today at quickturf.com. That's QIKturf.com.
Matt Lewis with Lewis Automotive Group, excited to announce our trade-in, trade-up event. During this event, you get thousands extra for your trade value. Plus, it's all backed by the Lewis Guarantee. Double the factory warranty. That's a 10-year, 120,000-mile powertrain. Plus, you get 1 year worth of maintenance on us. This event's only going on at Lewis Automotive Group and is at all of our locations in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington.
Could a little extra support help your child shine even brighter? Bridges Therapy Group empowers kids to live their best life with expert pediatric therapy services tailored to their needs. Their team offers occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy, guiding families from the first evaluation to every milestone along the way. Give your child the tools to succeed and shine. Visit btgpeds.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today. That's btgpeds.com.
Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Enjoy affordable apartments with community amenities like fitness centers and resort-style pools at select locations. Golf memberships are also available at beautiful 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling a home, commercial, or investment property? Trust Lindsay & Associates, serving the community and bringing great neighbors together for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
You took over, hired in February, you took over this program. 2 tough games to start the season, but where do you really feel like your team can continue to learn and grow?
Yeah, we started off with a really 2 tough games. You know, anytime that you got to start off with your in-town rival, and it's at their place, which is not far down the street from our place, it's always a tough one. You know, and it's tough on both sides. And then, you know, unfortunately, we were on the short end of that one coming out of it, and then, you know, you come home and now you're playing Greenwood, and you know, and they've been a really good team, obviously, and you know, so it's been a struggle these last 2 weeks, you know, but I think where our team is at right now, they've done a good job mentally of being able to bounce back. You know, you go from the first game to the second, and there was a lot of growth and a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2, and that's the biggest thing that we're looking for from week 2 to week 3 is how can we continue to climb, and how can we continue to get better from where we were when we ended that game on this last Friday.
Where do you think the locker room is? Just, you talk about a mentality there, and that mental toughness for guys to understand that it's a process and there's a lot of football left to play and a lot of room to kind of turn things around in a sense and get some wins on the board.
I think that they're in a good place right now. I mean, you know, we had a good meeting on Sunday, the day out, or, you know, 2 days after the game, and their spirits were high while they were disappointed. You know, they know that it's the thing that we talk about every day is you have the next play. You know, the ball's got to get spotted. You got to move on to the next play. And it's the same thing for games. You get over the game, and guess what? You got one coming up. So it's time to go get ready for it. And you never want the previous play to beat you twice, and you definitely don't want the previous game to beat you twice. But I'd say with where we're at, our kids have a sense of urgency about getting us going in the right direction, and there's been a lot of positives that have came out these last 2 weeks, and you're seeing those on the practice field. You're seeing those in how our kids are playing, and they're urgent, and they have a sense of urgency to keep climbing, keep stacking days, and more importantly, to come out with a win, coming up in our next game.
What do you like about your team the most?
I like that they don't give up. That's the biggest thing. When you look at our team and you see, the situations that we've been in these last 2 weeks, that there's been no quit. There hasn't been any, I'm not going to go in. I'm going to just, take a play off. Like, there hasn't been that. They've fought and they have been competitive down to the very last snap. And I view that as a good sign. It's an unfortunate good sign that your kids are willing to fight and they're willing to be competitive and they're willing to continue, regardless of the situation, to go out and try to win that play and then try to win the next play. And that's what I really like about them. I think that stems from a lot of leadership that we have, just a mixture of seniors and juniors and, even some sophomores that have been stepping up in that sense.
When you look at this next game ahead, what are maybe 2 or 3 things specifically you want to see your team execute on the football field?
I want to see them just to be able to go out and, again, just execute their job. To say that there's, 2 or 3 things, I think to see them be able to line up, execute their assignment, and do their job. That's it. Play with relentless effort and just do their job. And as long as they do that, then we're always going to have a chance. It don't matter against 2. If we can keep everything simplified from a schematic standpoint so that our kids can go out, play fast, execute their assignment, do their job, we'll always have a chance.
You can learn more about Coach Mirocke and everything he learned in those 15 years of coaching on the college level and why he wanted to come and be a coach on the high school ranks. That a part of our conversation from our Varsity Vibe Stories episode on Tuesday. That is going to do it for Varsity Vibe today. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to our podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and register for the newsletter. Just go to varsityvibearkansas.com and you will get our newsletter in your inbox twice a week. A special shout out to our sponsors, Lindsay, Lewis Automotive, Bridges Therapy Group, and Quick Turf. We'll see you tomorrow.